You know, I've been thinking a lot lately about what actually separates the people who live a great life from the people who are just existing. And I'm not talking about being famous or anything like that. I'm talking about that feeling deep inside your gut that tells you, hey, I'm meant for more than this. We've all felt it. Maybe you felt it when you were a kid, looking out the window, dreaming about the future. You knew you were special. You knew you were destined for greatness. But then life happens, right? Bills happen, stress happens, and slowly we start to shrink that dream down until it fits into a tiny little box that feels safe. I want to tell you a story about a woman who used to work in a business I was consulting for. She was an incredible person, a single mother, working so hard but barely scraping by. Her ex-husband wasn't helping out, and she was stuck in this loop of living paycheck to paycheck. It was stressful, just watching her go through it. One day, I asked her a serious question. I looked her in the eye and said, "What amount of money would completely change your life right now?" She didn't even hesitate. She said, "If I had $5,000, everything would change." Now, here is where most people get it wrong. I told her respectfully, no, that wouldn't change your life. Think about it. 5 grand? Sure, it pays off the debts you have today. It stops the bleeding for maybe 2 or 3 months. But come December, you're back in the same hole. The problem wasn't the lack of $5,000. The problem was the size of the solution she was looking for. In Jewish wisdom, there is this beautiful concept about the vessel. If you want to receive rain, you need a bucket. If you have a thimble, you can only catch a drop, no matter how hard it storms. This woman, she needed $50,000 to actually change her life. But when I told her that, when I said, "You need 50 grand, she looked at me like I was crazy, like I had just asked her to fly to Mars. Her mind couldn't even compute that number because she had trained herself to think only about survival, not about greatness. This is the first law we need to unlock. You have to think bigger than your immediate problem. If you are aiming for a number or a goal that just barely covers your issues, you are setting yourself up to fail even if you succeed. Let's say she magically got that 5 grand. Great, she hit her goal, she won. But 6 months later, she's broke again. So she achieved her goal, and she is still struggling. That is the quickest way to kill your motivation. Why try hard if winning still feels like losing? You have to stretch your mind. If you think you need 5,000, you probably need 50. If you think 50,000 is the ticket, you actually need to be aiming for 500,000. And if you think 500,000 solves it, buddy, you need to be looking at 5 million, not because you are greedy, but because the world is expensive, friction is real, and you need a margin of error. King Solomon was the wealthiest and wisest man who ever lived. Do you think he woke up worrying about just getting through the day? No, he operated with a mindset of abundance. When you aim small, you are essentially telling the Creator that you only trust him for the basics. Just give me bread and I'm good. But we are built for greatness. We are partners in creation. When you aim for the stars and you miss, you land on the moon. If that woman aimed for 50,000 and failed by only hitting half, she would have $25,000. That solves her problems for a year. That gives her breathing room. That builds confidence. The friction of life is going to eat up a lot of your efforts, so you need to produce so much energy, so much output, and have such a big vision that even after the world takes its tax, you are left with greatness. Before we move to the next level, if you're vibing with this and you want to unlock that next level of wisdom in your life, do me a solid and hit that follow button right now. Let's build this treasury together. Okay, so you've decided to think big. You've set the goal at 5 million instead of 5,000. You are pumped, you are ready. And then, boom, you get punched in the face. Not literally, I hope, but metaphorically. The deal falls through. The loan gets denied. The video gets 0 views. The product launches and nobody buys it. This is what we call friction. And let me be honest with you, most people, the vast majority of people, stop right here. They hit that first wall of resistance and they interpret it as a sign from the universe. They say, oh, it must not be meant to be. Maybe my idea was stupid. Maybe I'm not cut out for this. They see friction as a stop sign. But I want you to flip that switch in your brain today. Friction is not a stop sign. Friction is a gatekeeper. Think about it physically. You can't create fire without friction. You can't build muscle without resistance. In the spiritual sense, we call these nisyanot, tests. Why would God or the universe give you a massive dream and then make it easy? If it were easy, everyone would do it, and it would have no value. The friction is there to ask you one question. How badly do you want this? I deal with this every single day, seriously. In business, in creative projects, even in my personal life, there is always something going wrong. Always. If I stopped every time things got hard, I would be sitting on the couch doing absolutely nothing. You have to understand that the no you are hearing is rarely a permanent no. It's usually just a not yet or not this way. Let's go back to that money example. Imagine you worked your tail off to get a client and they said no. That stings. It feels personal. But if you look at it through the lens of greatness, that friction is just data. It's telling you that your approach needs a tweak, or maybe that client wasn't the right vessel for your value. It is temporary. The feeling of defeat is an emotion, and emotions pass. The goal remains. The people who achieve greatness, the people we look up to, are not the ones who never failed. They are the ones who have the highest tolerance for friction. They eat friction for breakfast. When you encounter a difficulty, instead of shrinking back and saying, I guess I'll go back to thinking small, you need to lean into it. It's like walking through a thick fog. You can't see the other side. It's cold, it's uncomfortable, and you don't know where you are going. Most people turn around and run back to the safety of the house. But the treasure is on the other side of the fog. You just have to keep walking, step by step, trusting that the fog will lift. The friction is the price of admission for the life you want. So here is a question for you. What is one wall of friction you hit recently that made you want to give up? Was it a failed project, a rejection, or just plain old exhaustion? Let me know in the comments. There is a very dangerous word in the English language, and that word is try. I'll try to start a business. I'll try to get in shape. When you say you will try, you are giving yourself permission to fail before you even start. To overcome the friction we just talked about, you cannot just try once. Nothing, and I mean nothing, happens because you did it one time. Going to the gym for 1 hour one time does nothing for your body. Sending one cold email does nothing for your bank account. Posting one video changes nothing. The universe is heavy. It has inertia. To move a heavy object, you need a massive amount of force. We talked about Jewish laws in the title. There is a concept called zrizut. It means alacrity, zeal, moving with speed and energy. When you have a mitzvah, a good deed to do, you run to do it. You don't hesitate. In business, this translates to massive, relentless action. When you hit a problem, you don't throw one little solution at it. You overwhelm the problem. If you need sales, you don't make 3 calls. You make 300 calls. You knock on doors until your knuckles bleed. You have to be unreasonable with your level of action. Normal action gets you normal results, which is usually average or mediocre. Massive action is the only thing that breaks through the gravity of an average life. Think of it like a lottery, but one where you can buy as many tickets as you want. If you only take 1 shot, your odds are almost 0. But if you take 1,000 shots, if you are constantly putting out offers, constantly creating, constantly networking, eventually, simply by the law of statistics, something is going to hit. Greatness is often just a numbers game. It's about volume. It's about output. You can't be precious about your work. You can't sit there polishing one perfect little stone while the other guy is building a mountain with rocks he just threw into a pile. Get moving. Get loud. Get busy. I'm curious, What's one area in your life where you know you've been doing just enough instead of taking massive action? Is it your health, your side hustle? Be honest. Now let's bring this all together with an image I want you to burn into your brain. I want you to imagine a lumberjack, a wood chopper. He is standing in front of a gigantic tree. This tree is your dream. It's that $5 million life. It's that happy marriage. It's that legacy you want to leave. This tree is thick. It's ancient. It's hard as rock. The lumberjack has an axe. Now, how does he take down the tree? Does he run around the forest hitting every tree once? No. Does he hit the tree really hard for 1 hour and then take a month off? No. The secret to the lumberjack's success is boring, repetitive precision. He picks a spot on the tree and he swings. Whack! A tiny chip of wood flies off. It looks like he did nothing to the tree. The tree looks exactly the same, but he comes back the next day. Whack! Same spot. And the next day, whack. This is discipline. This is consistency. In Jewish life, we have prayers 3 times a day, every day. Doesn't matter if you're tired, doesn't matter if you're happy, doesn't matter if it's raining. You show up. This rhythm builds a spiritual muscle. In business, it's the exact same law. You have to show up to your tree every single day and hit it in the same spot. If you write 1 page of a book every day, at the end of the year, you have a book. If you save a small amount of money every day, eventually you have wealth. It's not sexy. It's not going to go viral on TikTok instantly, but it is the only way the tree falls. Here is the magic part. For the first few weeks or months or even years, it looks like nothing is happening. You are sweating, you are swinging that axe, and the tree is still standing tall. Your friends are laughing at you. Why are you working so hard? Nothing is changing. But inside the tree, the structure is weakening. You are cutting through the fibers. And then, one random Tuesday, you take a swing, the same swing you took 1,000 times before, and suddenly, crack! The whole thing comes crashing down. You get the breakthrough. Everyone calls you an overnight success, but you know the truth. You know it was the 1,000 swings before that made the last one count. Have you ever been the lumberjack? Have you ever worked on something for a long time with 0 results, only to have it suddenly pay off later? Share that win in the comments to inspire someone else. There is a missing piece to this puzzle. We talked about thinking big, fighting friction, massive action and consistency. But if you think this is all 100% on your shoulders, you're going to burn out. You're going to crack under the pressure. The transcript of my thoughts often comes back to this: with God's help. You see, I know I'm not smart enough to figure this all out on my own. I look back at the things I've achieved, in family, in business, in life, and I know there was a silent partner involved. There is a concept called bitachon. It means trusting that if you put in the effort, if you swing the axe, the outcome is guaranteed by a higher power, even if it doesn't look the way you thought it would. Remember the friction we talked about? Sometimes that friction is God protecting you from a bad deal. Sometimes the delay is God preparing you so you don't get crushed by the weight of your own success. When you realize that you are co-creating your life with the source of all life, the anxiety starts to fade. You stop worrying about what if I fail, and you start focusing on I'm going to do my part, and I trust him to do his. Why do you want greatness? Why do you want the money? If it's just to buy a faster car or a nicer watch, that motivation will run out. It's too shallow. But if you view your success as a tool to bring more light into the world, to help your community, to support your family, to fund charities, then you are tapping into a limitless source of energy. Jewish law teaches that wealth is a responsibility. It's a resource entrusted to you. When you view your business as a service to the world, the friction becomes easier to bear because you are on a mission. You aren't just a businessman, you are a builder of worlds. Do you believe that there is a spiritual component to success? Or do you think it's all just hard work and luck? It's a deep question, but I'd love to hear your take below. All right, let's bring this home. We've covered a lot of ground today, and I want to make sure you have this locked in your mind. This is your cheat sheet for greatness. First, think bigger. Stop asking for 5 grand. Ask for the life you actually want. Break the ceiling of your own mind. Second, expect friction. Don't let the no stop you. It's just a test. It's temporary. Push through the fog. Third, massive action. Don't just try, do a lot. Overwhelm the obstacle with sheer volume of effort. And fourth, be the lumberjack. Daily, consistent, boring action in the same spot until the tree falls. I know it sounds cliché, but life is passing by. That feeling you have that you are destined for greatness, it doesn't last forever if you don't feed it. It can fade. You can become cynical. You can settle. Please do not settle. You have the tools now. You understand the mindset. The only variable left is you. Are you going to close this video or stop listening to this audio and go back to the same old routine? Or are you going to pick up your axe today and take that first swing at the big tree? I believe in you. I really do. I believe that we are all capable of things that would blow our own minds if we just got out of our own way. I want to be that guy in your corner, cheering you on, giving you that inspiration to get to the next level. Go out there, think big, fight through the friction, take massive action, and keep chopping. Your greatness is waiting for you. If this script brought you any value, if it sparked a little fire in your belly, please do the full cycle. Like this video so the algorithm finds other people who need to hear this. Comment, "I am a lumberjack," if you made it to the end. And share this with one friend who is stuck thinking too small. Let's grow together. I'll see you in the next one.